welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a really fun one, hopefully for you guys. So if you are interested in hearing me rank all of my Unearthly Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes, then just keep watching. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome. My name is KARENHARRIS. I like to film tan girl friendly makeup videos here on my channel. Today is a ranking style video, which is one of my favorite things to do on my channel. I actually have a series where I rank all the palettes I tried in a month in the new month, and I think that's such a fun way for you guys to hear quick little reviews on the eyeshadow palettes I try. So if content like that is interesting to you, if you like seeing new releases, new makeup releases, will I buy type videos, then this is a place for you. Highly recommend subscribing, turning on that bell so you're notified every time I post. And without further blabbering, let's get into it. So the reason I decided to quickly film this video is because one of my favorite brands is actually having a huge restock. So Unearthly Cosmetics is going to be restocking all of the palettes that are in this video today at 12 p.m. Eastern time on the 19th of January, which is the day this video is going live. So I'm going to try and time it so that you have about an hour before the restock so you guys can watch this video, make yourself a quick little list of the things you want to grab, etc., so that you are prepared. I do also have an affiliate code with them, so if you use the code KHMAKEUP, you will save an additional little bit of money, which is always nice. You don't have to use my code. You can use any other code you like, but make sure you're doing that because you'll save money. And if you do use my code, thank you so much, because that goes right back in to supporting my channel, which means a whole lot to me. So I feel like I've covered everything. Like I said, the restock is happening at 12 p.m. Eastern time, which is 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, which is my time zone. So make sure you're keeping an eye on the clock. But let's get into it. I have 11 eyeshadow palettes from Unearthly Cosmetics. And I'm sorry if I called them Alien. I mean Unearthly. They changed their name, but all the things I have still say Alien, and I'm so used to calling them Alien that I keep calling them Alien. I also did film this look, and it'll be coming soon. I wanted to get this video up first because it's time sensitive. Unearthly restocks seem to sell out pretty quickly, so I don't want you guys to miss any of my favorites. So the palettes that are restocking are Lore, Fairy, Floric, Not Normal, Witching Hour, Poison Apple, Strawberry Milkshake, Low Light, and Hauntingly Glamorous. I do have a few that aren't included in this list, and I also don't own the Low Light palette, so I can't include that in my ranking video. I keep thinking I want to buy some of the palettes that I don't have, but like I said, Unearthly is rebranding, so I'm just going to wait for the new launches instead of trying to buy old launches. So in number 11, this is a shameful thing that I own because I haven't actually used this palette on my eyes, so I'm just automatically ranking it at the lowest spot because I haven't used this on my eyes. It has a beautiful color story. I believe this is one of their collaboration palettes. This is what the packaging looks like. I don't think this is ever going to come back, so I don't think you can buy it, but it has a beautiful duochrome shade, and then the rest of the shadows are these beautiful mattes, and I think this is such a different color story, some greens and reds, but yeah, I've never used it, so therefore, it's automatically in number 11. In 10th place is the Hauntingly Glamorous palette. This is their collaboration with Sydney Nicole, I believe is her name. Now, a lot of people consider this a kind of like a dupe for the Angelica Nyquist and Kaleidos Club Nebula palette. Now, I'm listing this as number 10 just because it's not really my favorite color story. I like the mattes she chose, but there aren't enough metallic eyeshadows in this palette for me. There are like 2 iridescent shades, and I know there's people in this world that can totally rock this color combo. It's just not my favorite. It has some really nice mattes in it. You will see that like reds and matte greens are included pretty frequently in Unearthly eyeshadow palettes, so there's nothing really in this palette that I am reaching for constantly, but I know a lot of people really love this palette, so if it's something that's interesting you, I would definitely pick it up during this restock. I just personally think it's okay. It's not my favorite. So the next palette is the Serendipity palette. So this is number 9, and this is also a collaboration. I think the artwork was a collaboration. They have repackaged this. This is the old packaging. So you'll see here on the inside, it has those circle pans, and this has a beautiful color story, but again, it's the old formula and old packaging, so therefore I'm listing it a little bit lower. It's a beautiful color story. Again, lots of reds and greens, so I will say that up towards the top, you will see more of my favorite color stories and palettes, so I'm ranking this at number 9. In 8th place is a newer palette from them. This is the Smells Like Holiday Spirit palette. This was part of their holiday collection. They launched 2 of them. There is also some beautiful lip glosses with this collection, but I'm just talking about the eyeshadow palettes right now. I really like this palette. I actually thought the look turned out really good in the video where I actually used this palette. I was pleasantly surprised because I thought that the eyeshadows weren't performing that well, but when I looked at the footage, it actually looked really nice, so I was happy about that. But I just don't really love this formula. The mattes are pretty okay. The metallics are more stiff than their usual metallics because usually they pick up really nicely on a brush and they're very creamy, which is my preferred metallic formula. So for that reason, I'm putting this in the 8th spot. Okay, in 7th place is Fairy Floric. Gosh, that is a mouthful, but this is what the palette looks like. This is a very pretty, different color story. It's got some beautiful duochromes. Let me just swatch them for you. I do have videos with pretty much all of these palettes on my channel, and if I don't have a video, I am assuming it's like an older palette from them that's probably not going to be carried in the future, but this is a really cool palette. There are 4 metallics and 4 mattes in this palette, and this is why I love Unearthly, because she has like these really unique color stories. So I'm ranking this at number 7. In 6th place is the Not Normal palette. Now this is a really cool palette. It's a very different color story than what I'm used to, but again, it has that like green matte. Not that I'm complaining, but it's not like my favorite color story, if that makes any sense. There are some other palettes in this video that have like more of a favorite color story, but I love that she included some really deep colorful mattes because those are very handy when you're doing an eye look. I think this is one of most people's favorite Unearthly palettes, but I'm ranking it at number 6. So in 5th place, this one is purely one of my favorites because of the color story. I just think this is such a fun color story. I really think they nailed the theme here. So this is the Strawberry Milkshake palette, and it's just such a fun, vibrant, summery kind of palette. Again, there's the dark green and the light green matte. I swear I should do like a video where I swatch all the green mattes just to see if any of them are similar. But I just think this is a really fun color story. You can do a nice vibrant green eyeshadow look, you can do a fun mix, or you can do kind of a girly pink or red eye look. So for that reason, I like this. I think it's very simple. I love that Unearthly does the 9-pan palettes because they're just like fun and quick like that. But yeah, it's super duper cute. And then one of my favorite palettes, this did get reformulated and repackaged, I believe. And I'm so tempted to buy this in the new packaging because it's one of my favorites. This is the Lore palette. Now, this has been dethroned since because this was my favorite alien palette. And honestly, the duochromes are still absolutely stunning. Like if you're into pretty colorful duochrome shades like this, you still want to go for the Lore palette. It is available in new packaging. It's just that I don't want to spend the money to buy another palette exactly the same as the one I have, so I decided not to get it in the new packaging. But if I lost all these palettes, I would definitely repurchase this in the new packaging. It's such a good palette. The mattes in this are nice, but I would say it's the duochromes that really sell this palette in my opinion. Next palette in 3rd place is, oh my gosh, I didn't think I was gonna love this palette as much as I do, but it's such a cool palette. I could honestly even see this being number 1. I was just a little hesitant because it's not something I've used as much as the other 2 palettes. This is their In the Dark palette, which is one of their holiday palettes from 2021. And honestly, I didn't know I needed this palette until I had this palette. And the reason is these gorgeous dark, deep matte shades. I mean, just absolutely stunning, so pigmented. Look at that blue. I mean, so nice. And you guys know I love having shades to deepen up the outer corner because I feel like a lot of palettes land in that like mid-tone category, and then you have like the lighter mattes and the lighter shimmers, but there aren't enough beautiful dark mattes. So I could totally see myself just keeping this on my desk and using the dark shades all of the time. I would love to see them do something like this with just like dark tone colorful mattes so you can complement any eyeshadow palette with them, because that's the shades I'm always missing in other palettes, and most of them are in this In the Dark palette. Okay, Top two, this was a tough one, but I had to decide. I had to go with my gut and my feelings. I'm actually wearing my top two palettes on my eyes, so pause this video and guess which ones are in the top two if you can. This is your clue. Okay, did you leave a comment? Okay, now you can keep watching. So in second place is the Fall Magic palette. I feel like you guys would know this if you have been watching me. I mean, this color story is one of my favorites from Unearthly. It's so cool. I think the name Fall Magic is perfect for this palette because it has that like grungy vibe, but also a little bit of a neutral mauvey vibe. I love the metallics in this palette. I'm actually wearing the shade Change on my lids today. I thought that was a fun little combo. So yeah, I just love this palette so much. Highly recommend picking this up. I don't believe this is restocking, but they do have a pre-order for this, so if it's still open, make sure you go ahead and grab this because I don't know how many more times she'll restock it, but it's absolutely stunning. Next is my number one palette, and I do have a dedicated video to this one. It is the Witching Hour palette from Unearthly Cosmetics. Now, I chose this one not because it has the most interesting metallics, but because this color story is just like me in a palette. I love, again, the matte green. Let's swatch it. Now I've swatched 3 of them. Her matte green is like the matte black or the brow bone shade in every other palette, you know, like those shades that they have to put in every palette, or people are like disappointed if they don't see a matte skin tone shade for lighter skin tones. Like I've literally heard people do hauls where they'll swatch the palette and be like, this isn't a standalone palette for me because it doesn't have a brow bone shade. And I'm like, oh my gosh, just buy a matte brow bone shade. Like what the heck. Anyway, this palette is stunning. I love this color story so much. It's nothing like crazy as far as the metallics go. I mean, they're nice metallics, but it's nothing that's like gonna blow your mind. But I just love the combination of the mattes with the metallics, and therefore I'm so happy I own this palette. So that is why it's my number one, and it is part of the restock. So if you like my taste in makeup, if you like the eyeshadow palettes that I like, I would definitely recommend considering the Witching Hour palette. Okay friends, so that is everything for my Unearthly Cosmetics ranking video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what is your favorite palette from Unearthly, if you've already tried the brand, or if this is going to be your first time trying them. Let me know what palettes caught your eye. You know I love chatting to you in the comment section. Like I said in the intro, I do have a code. It's KHMAKEUP, and you will save, I believe, 10% when you use the code, and it really helps me out. So thank you again, and I will see you in another ranking video very soon. Bye guys!